Well, what's going on, guys? I got the motor mounts and transmission mounts, motor mount there, transmission mounts there, and I'm working on strengthening up and getting the rear end ready. But what I got, I was kind of leery of just having that with those cross beams. I didn't know if it was going to be very strong. So I'm going to go on ahead and, kind of make some braces for it, like I got here on this side. I'm going to get a brace and I'll weld up and weld some pieces in there. But so far, that's what I'm working with. Well, now that I got the rear end off and I have the motor out, I went on ahead and welded the underside of it and welded all the underside. But I beefed up the front end. I put these bars in here so the weight won't be all on this, and all this is just on the frame, which would make it really weak. So I went ahead and did that. Got tires for it. I'm gonna start trying to finish putting it together. Okay, now. I got the front end on and the rear end together. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to adjust this, drop the front end of this because it's super high. I already know how I'm gonna work the back end. It sits really low, but it doesn't have the shocks on it. And it doesn't have the coils on it, so it's, it bounces like pretty much. But I'll put the air shocks on it and lift it up and go with that and put the coils in. And but for now, this front end is sitting up really high like it would on a Volkswagen. So I'm gonna attempt to drop it. I've been looking on YouTube and they make cuts here and cuts here, and I'm going to do that and drop it down, but I gotta put air in that tire right there. Well, I gotta get another tire because that one's well, crap. We got the air shocks in the back now. We have a little bit more work to do. I gotta hook the lines up, and so far it's coming along good. I gotta get another carburetor. Put my radiators on, hook those lines up, hook my brakes up, hook my steering column up. But I got the air shocks there, the air shocks for the front, and like I said, I got them for the back. I gotta put these little compressors on, which is over there by the hammer. There's two of them, one for the back and then one for the front. Working on the front end of the rat rod. I got my shocks mounted. What I did is my shocks that were on the trike, I mounted them up here, sent a bolt through here to hold it, and other than that, I got the front end all done up. I got the other shock done, and I'm making my rims look somewhat nice. That's the rat rod look, but I don't want the rat rod look. I want to clean it up. I already primered that one and got it ready for paint. And do that one. We mounted the motor back in it. I still have to get my torque converter. The torque converter I got was the pilot was too big. So what I did is I went on ahead and just started working on the frame a little bit more. I made this so I can have a motor mount for the rear end. And what I have here is this torque converter. It's a stall 3000 stall torque converter, but like I said, it was not the right one. So I'm gonna go on ahead and send it back and get the right pilot hole for it. Anyway, progress is going pretty good. I went on ahead and put the radiators on so I can make sure I have fitment. Anyway, looks like they're gonna fit up pretty good. I just gotta get the hoses and get them all ran. But I was worried about my exhaust manifolds, my headers. They're gonna come through here, you know, but they'll be okay. It won't be too hot for the radiators because the air will be blowing this way and blowing on the manifolds. So I'm not too worried about them getting too hot. But it looks like they'll work. But the only thing is these Clevelands are known for overheating. So I'm hoping both of them radiators will do the trick. Well, we had this rear end on, and I didn't like it because it was too wide. So I went and got a different rear end. It's not as strong as this rear end, but in the future I'll get an 8.8 and do it like I did this one. I cut it here and I cut it here and shortened it. This is how much of the axle was cut on this side, and about 3 inches on this side. So I went on ahead and welded my differential together. I know that's not the right way, but when I get my good rear end, my strong one, I'll get a locker on it. Anyway, that's what I got. And right now we gotta take these tires off because I need the lug nuts to I gotta weld them together and make them longer so they'll fit inside the rims, so they won't be so tucked in there. Well, I bought this Assault water pump, electric water pump, but it's supposed to fit a 351 Cleveland, but there's no clearance right here to put my water hose on, and then my pulley was too big. It was sitting up here. So why does it say it will fit a 351 Cleveland when you got to do all kinds of work to make it fit? Now I don't know about how I'm going to get it to fit. Okay, what we got going on is we finally got the rear end plugged in after going through a lot of stuff. I went to Factory 5 Speedway and I had bought an adapter for my rear end, but they stopped selling the pieces to connect it up, so I went on ahead and ordered another pinion and put it on there, and went on ahead and did my drive shaft. I'm waiting for my headers to come in so I can mock them up before I put my shifter in to shift it into drive. But I still have to get another carburetor because I'm trying to get the steering right. I hooked that up, welded it, and I had to cut these bars because my steering column wasn't right. So we took this manifold off because we had to put on because it had to have a dominator on it, and I didn't have the money for a dominator, and I wanted to go for a little bit more power. So what I did is I got this tunnel ram here, and it has two carburetors, and I put this up on there. So that's what's up with that. And I went on ahead and got a nitrous system, fan to cool my radiator, and for my rear end, what I did is I bought this rear end and I cut it, chopped it so that it'd be shorter and it'll fit my tires. I also went on ahead and got my headers on, put these headers on so you know, for my exhaust and everything, put them glass packs on, cut them, and did a lot of work to them headers to make them fit. But I got all that, plus my steering. I got my steering in. I got one of my tachometers in there, into my gauges and stuff. And I got a new radiator, and then a water pump, electric water pump. Anyway, and my hoses and stuff hooked up. And it'll be ready to start here soon. We're going to attempt to break it in, but I had some issues with some water leaking, and I went on ahead and put some gasket maker on there to stop it from leaking because my water pump was leaking. So we put that on there, and we're going to let that tack up real good before we put water back in it. And then we're going to go ahead and try to give it a shot on trying to get it started. I got my exhaust on, and everything's going it's going good. So we're going to go ahead and give it its first test start up. And I'll let you see that in a second.